Hello, this is Mrs. McMichael, and I'm here to describe your second project, your second composition assignment, and that is to come up with a melody, your own melody. There are just a couple of rules that will, I shouldn't call them rules, more like guidelines that give melodies interest and personality. They need two things. One is a leap and one is a rhythmic hook. And I'll demonstrate to you what I mean by that. For example, a leap is anything bigger than a skip. A skip could count, but there's a very famous melody from Leonard Bernstein's West Side Story called Maria. This leap is very unusual. It happens to be a tritone from C to F sharp. But it's not a stepwise. If you went, it wouldn't be quite as interesting as going, here's another very famous song that uses a leap. You probably all know that one, Over the Rainbow. The second element is what I call a rhythmic hook. Something that gives it a little bit of voice. Okay, so I'm going to play you an example of a melody without its rhythmic hook. And this is a melody you know. I guarantee you all know that melody. But it has no rhythmic hook. It just sounds like a scale. But if I do this, all of a sudden, you know exactly what it is, and it's unforgettable. That's, of course, Joy to the World, and Handel is attributed to that melody. It also has a leap right here. And those are also rhythmic hooks. So what if he did this? Okay, I mean, it's fine, but it's really not very memorable. By adding those rhythms, all of a sudden, it's got a hook in your head, and you won't forget it. The other, going back to Somewhere Over the Rainbow, that's full of not only leaps, but hooks, and I'll describe what's going on. Here's your first element, which is the leap. Now here's the rhythmic hook. Here's another leap, but it's a little smaller. No rhythmic hook. Now there's a leap, and now there's the hook, and there's the hook there. Now a hook doesn't have to be fancy. If he did this, it just doesn't have quite the personality. So those two elements go into a memorable melody. So try, if you can, to use at least one leap and one hook, and use them a couple of times. The more times you use your hook, the better. In the quartets that I wrote for you, Snow Day comes to mind, which has a sort of a cute little hook. That little thing right there, that's the hook. So it doesn't have to be fancy and it doesn't have to be elaborate. It just has to be not a little bit different than plain old quarter notes. Now, as far as what to use, 5-finger position is fine. C major is fine. D minor, G, F would give you Mixolydian, which is sort of interesting, or A. Now, if you've got bigger hands and you feel more confident, use an octave. But keep your melody within a span of an octave, because remember, a melody is meant to be sung. And you want your melody to be singable. You don't have to put words to it. And some of you might find it easy if you did put words to it. That's fine too. You can find some words and make a melody that supports your words, or not. I'm not much of a word person myself, so I just stick with notes. But Some of you might be really turned on by a poem or something that has interesting words and make the words fit your melody. So that's your assignment. Keep it 5-finger, octave, one or the other, no more than that. You need one leap and at least one hook. And one last thing, leaps can also be down, you know. That melody had a lot of hooks and a little bit of a lot of leaps and some rhythmic hooks, and they went down. So you can go up, you can go down, and use those elements for your melody. Have fun.